Welcome back.
Hey!
Time for some Princess of the Apocalypse. We're going to be taking a 2-week break, most likely, after this session, so it's the last one for a little bit. So without further ado, let's get into the actual gaming and introduce our players. So, beneath me, we have Fausto, who will be playing. And he is pretending his audio isn't on.
Exactly! How did you get there? So yes, I will be playing Zadas, the blue He-Man of this campaign. Barbarian, faithful, devout follower of Poseidon. Water outside, water inside. That's me.
Oh, and I just realized I forgot to level you guys up because at the end of last session, the guys did make a level. I will give a summary shortly, but first, time to introduce Kevin.
Hello, good evening. Tonight I will be playing the most glorious cleric of them all, named Everal, who is the cleric of Thor.
This is correct. And then, not last and not least, and not any of those things, we have Jay, who's playing Grazek. Say
the Paladin, the Dragonborn Paladin, who has a Harp's dark past.
Am I sensing multi-classing?
No!
He just has a dark path.
He has a dark past, which I've mentioned.
He may have mentioned it.
Ah, that dark.
Let's hope no one ends up breaking their oaths, then, shall we?
And then we have Stan.
Hi, and I'll be playing Gak, the Arakokra Ranger Stalker, and he's just become a sharpshooter after taking the keep.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. And then we have, finally, Eric.
Who is playing a tiefling druid who has become ever more observant of both our foes and our friends.
Very observant, but not so observant as to have told us her name.
Oh, Ayu Justiliana, I'm sorry. Names aren't important in the wild, just noises. Watch for the noises and listen for them.
So before we get into the summary, we have some housekeeping to take care of, and that comes in the form of us saying that we are in no shape or way affiliated with Wizards of the Coast LLC. They might like our stuff, we don't know, but we have nothing actually to do with them aside from the fact that we're playing their awesome game, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, Princess of the Apocalypse, which is an official campaign. Released quite a number of years back. And last time we played, our heroes had stormed Riverguard Keep, a fortification along the Desaran River, which the group had previously visited on several occasions, actually, attempting to rescue 2 commoners that appeared to have been kidnapped in the dead of night from the one of the local villages called Westbridge. And these 2 villagers, or rather they lived on a little farm just outside of town, they have finally been found and released, and our heroes find themselves mopping up the remains of this formerly ruinous keep that has recently been reoccupied by some kind of water cult. And despite the fact that their fearsome leader, the Werebore Grimjaw, fell to Zardas's axe, there seems to be some members of their leadership that managed to escape through a secret passage. And it's up to you guys exactly how soon after, if you want to take off directly after to have the chance to try and pursue them, or if you'll let them get away for now.
Before we start, can I make one more announcement?
Of course.
We are using the Streamlabs experience and redemption system.
That's right.
So while you are watching us, you will be earning experience points, which you can use to redeem for a bunch of advantages as you like. You can become the next NPC. You can give someone an extra spell slot. You can add a random easy encounter, give the party a potion, change DCs, give either the DM or a player advantages or disadvantages, or just tip us some XP for cheers, whichever you like.
Yeah, there's a lot of different options in there actually. It can be quite fun to influence our play. And if we're not responding straight away, make sure you just give us a bump in chat as well, so we know.
Yeah. Or send me a whisper, as I am trying to monitor the redemptions, but I might miss them for a little while.
Yes, well, one can always get caught up in the story, which we will shortly come to. I'm just adjusting the background screen. A quick check, everyone just made 4th level. Has everyone progressed in the same class?
Yes.
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 Monoclass or bust.
Very good. No one else is like me where I just can't help myself. Let's see, I am going to export this. Let's see. And I should take over things right now. And there we go. It has leveled us. So, oh wow, the chat's got some incredible numbers in there. I wonder who's responsible for that.
We shall never know.
Who knows?
Right, so, yes, last time the heroes had just taken over Riverguard Keep with the help of the Knights of Samula, a group of in ancient times they were paladins of Tyr, now not quite as powerful, but a knightly order who stand for justice and bringing the rule of law to the Tesaran Valley, which has recently become very lawless in a sense, because there appears to be an increased activity in banditry, and also the appearance of several strange cults and very strange weather patterns. Like, weird stuff is happening locally. You guys now should be able to see in the stream at least what the keep looks like. It is this fortification that is on the edge of a precipice and has its own little harbour. And yeah, so did you guys want to start straight away?
So, a question is, where is this secret passage?
It is right behind the wall. I can maybe switch us. Let's see, that's that one. So,
There is a secret passage behind that wall, which brings to what?
it's this stairwell that's behind here that you see.
There is a.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
It's black.
Oh,
It's all black.
that's weird. It's seen on the... okay, hang on. Then I shall make sure I go over to... I've got a bit of a juggling game here with the setup. Sorry, guys. Let's see.
Is that wall still closed? And did I see anyone go in there during the combat?
Yeah, you guys saw... during the very lengthy battle that lasted several episodes, you guys saw one of the Reavers and a bandit and one of the... sorry, a Fathomer and one of... well, the priest jumped down into the water. But this staircase, you don't know quite where it leads, but obviously down. And just judging from the way that things are set up, it most likely is at the bottom, or rather connects to this underground river sort of tunnel that you've seen from the outside, where there's this like a grate preventing people from entering that had a huge lock on it. That will be your best guess, but it certainly descends down into the depths of the earth, and you can smell not smell necessarily, but there is a dampness rising up from down there.
Okay, is this door? Can we block it with something? Like, I don't want them to come out of it in the middle of the night.
Quite possibly, although you may need to investigate it a little bit better. The door opens from the outside. It's possible that it might be able to be jammed from the inside, but it's hard to know exactly without taking a closer look.
Yeah, well, I would say let's start with taking what's there. Like here, there is ping. Why won't you ping? There is like a lot of chairs or something, like places to sit.
Yes, the chapel, which is where
The chapel, yes.
which is
so
where
we take a
this
few planks and we nail them in front of that door.
We sure don't want to chase them down.
well
I must admit that unless you can heal me full, no can do.
Yeah, also, I'm spent for the day.
I can heal you a bit.
Are you talking about Leonance?
Spells.
Ah, okay, because Leonance is gone.
Yeah.
Wait, what? The announce is gone?
Yeah, I used it last session.
your character participated last session.
Yeah.
Felsto
Okay.
ran him.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's good to know.
Yep.
Yeah.
You also have no dragon breath. Just FYI.
Did I use running?
Do I have my money left? Do I have my armed weapon left? I mean,
You have lost your anal virginity.
It is
Who
a
says
shame.
we
I'm
still
sorry.
had that.
Was Zardus responsible?
Well,
Did he do the
what I would
dance
like
of
to know,
seven
actually,
sharks?
What I would like to know is if we are able to find the our missing pieces of equipment.
yes, that's also quite important.
Yeah. Okay, so step one, we will barricade that door so that nothing can come out of it. We put several. We break those. I can't say the word in English.
Pews.
Say it again.
Pews.
Pews.
A pew.
Yeah,
A
pews.
pew. This is where you sit in the church.
Yes.
Okay, very well. So we're gonna do pew the pews, and and we are going to nail them to the wall there.
Well, the wall is made of stone, so that's not really gonna help there. What you could
Big
do,
nails. And then put another couple of pews, to reinforce them. We try to do the best we can. Especially, I look around at all those farmers and commoners that they have captured. We're like, is anybody here a woodworker?
you survey the people. Well, they're actually the squires have got them settled in the church right now, or the chapel, where the pews are, and they're. I mean, Auric and Lancer are both farmers, and they're like, well, yes, I suppose we can do physical labor. We're quite used to it.
Yes, but can you do it? Do you know how to do it?
I'm not a stonemason, no, but I mean, I do odd jobs around the farm, like basic smithing. bricklaying, that sort of thing. Nothing professional.
Do you think you are comfortable to block this door? Is that something you will be able to do?
Well, I suppose we could just barricade it by. I mean, there's very heavy sacks in the larder, grain barrels,
Yes.
that sort of
You
thing.
know, I believe in delegating, so you take care of this.
I trust your expertise as well.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Choose 2 strong boys to help you out, and do this pronto.
I am rather weak at this moment.
Yeah, well, take 15 minutes then.
He sort of leans in and sort of says to well, there are the other guys, but they were very much, the kind of riffraff from Wormford that sympathised with the people.
Let me speak with them.
Okay, sure.
Okay, where are these guys?
In the chapel.
Ah, my favorite place.
Yeah, one of them, IU speaks up. One of them gave me away when I was trying to get the door open. I can probably point him out when I see him.
Please, Ayu, follow me.
You're saying that, sorry, to
Zardus.
Zardus.
Mm-hmm. And I will be following Zardus to the chapel.
Alright, then move your character into the chapel.
Chapel is the building right across the street.
It's where I am now.
Yeah, or I can move you there if you want.
I got it. There we go.
So which one is it?
I will point him out. I can't remember which token it was specifically.
You!
It is
Come
these...
here for a moment. Yeah.
Really?
Come over here. Come over here.
Me? What do you want?
Just a word with you. Come here. Don't make me say that again.
He's sort of rubbing his head where it's been clear that like he's recently been knocked out.
Yeah. Come. So I give him a pat on the shoulder.
He flinches when you pat him.
Don't worry. I give him a pat on the shoulder. I say, I understand you did good here. You kept the others brave until we came to rescue.
Yeah.
So I keep my hand on his shoulder and I say, we need people like you because we need to give examples to all the others.
Right.
Yeah. So I put my hand from his shoulder behind his neck and I smash him against the altar with the nose first.
Damn!
He only has 1 hit point.
Yeah.
What's your intention?
To knock him out with a bleeding nose.
Okay, he's very much unconscious and his entire face is just purple.
Very well. I take my hands off him. I go like, I just want to be clear here, everyone.
They kind of like back away and they're freaking out for the most
Perfect.
part.
I just want to be clear here. You lie to us, you end up like him. You help us out, couple of days, even tomorrow, you're free to go wherever you like. Is that understood?
That's intimidating.
They are at this point you don't even need to roll. They're like just cowering.
Perfect. I look at the 2 strongest guys.
Even the squires seem to flinch and become very nervous at this behavior.
I look at the 2 that look a bit more burly and strong.
Yep. They were still very much with it seems they're of the same kind of stock you'd expect to find in Wormfoot, and you suspect that they also would have turned on you. But
Yeah.
they do seem to be in relatively good physical condition, aside from the fact that it's quite clear to you as a warrior that these are the rejects you're looking at. Their bark is bigger than their bite.
Yes, so I look at them, I say, I'm giving you a second chance, which counts as double, for the simple reason that it's also your last chance. So go in the keep and help out my man there.
All right. Well, I mean, technically there is on site because the Grimjaw's group have been making repairing the keep.
Okay.
So there is building material. So if you really want to,
okay, even better. Yeah. Okay, then we use that.
if you really want to permanently seal the passage, it is possible.
Yeah, I mean permanently. I want to make sure that nobody from the other side can come in. And, it takes a few minutes to break it up.
Yep.
At least. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then I suggest that we make a complete search of this keep. Maybe, in the hurry to run away, they left their treasure behind.
As you sort of return, or rather, as you're standing there, Sir Kale comes in and is like, I'm not too sure, but are you the leader of this group?
Absolutely not. I'm just the one that talks the most.
He
Even
does
so,
very much enjoy it.
I like the sound of my voice.
So you don't have a hierarchy.
We are all friends and we are all equals here. Some of us are more equal than others.
I see, yes, well, you certainly proved yourself. I'm afraid we don't have any healers on site at present, but thank you for your assistance in letting us in and taking over this keep. But perhaps you should follow us into the Great Hall and we can discuss what the next step is.
Sure.
Sure, let's go.
In the meanwhile, who wants to search the place? Somebody with good eagle eyes.
Was that
I mean, you guys can certainly arrange for a mixed group of people to go through the keep and see what you've actually got there. And so Kale will send a squire along with you to
make
to
sure
make,
they don't steal anything.
make notes and whatnot. You don't get the impression these people are into stealing.
Yeah, I know, but maybe they think this is also not our stuff. So.
Who said that we were stopping them from stealing?
well, we're giving them the keep. We never said anything about items inside.
I actually like this keep, man. It's on the river. It's perfect for me.
You'll have to come back and talk to them about that. We have some stuff to do.
Yeah. Okay, so check out the place, and we're going to have a talk with the knights.
Yeah. Actually, laying out on the table, there is I mean, it's a pretty bloody mess at the moment. The rest of the squires are being distributed to sort of have a basic guard over the keep, but they're so few in number that if an enemy did attack from the outside, it would be quite difficult to defend at this point. But you do see on the table various reports, and just sort of flipping through them, it appears to be reports from bandits and smugglers through the area, with sort of routine notes about river guard supplies, boat sailings on the river, logbooks and manifests. And with your nautical knowledge, it's quite clear to you that many of these have been taken by from other ships. and they do note exactly what loot they've taken, for examples, but the location of where they took them from is quite imprecise. For example, wagon load of flour near B, or 40 silver pieces traveling near W. But aside from that, there is also many other items in the keep to be recovered. I mean, a team is going to have to collect the bodies, sort of recover the arms and armor, and I suppose you're also going to go looking for your old equipment. And whilst this is happening, Sir Kale and anyone else of the group that cares to listen says, well, we should probably send word to the lady about our victory here and update her. But I don't know quite what to write in the report yet. We have not really discussed the fate of this keep, which obviously has been abandoned for many years until recently, and we do not yet know where the remaining forces escaped to. It is difficult to know if this is yet properly secured. He looks back over his shoulder towards where the workers are already sort of like breaking up the secret passage, or at least blocking it off so that it can't be mechanically opened the intended way. He's like, although I can see that you have this rather underway already, but what are your intentions exactly?
We are actually just passing by here. We are on our way to Red Lark to do a favor to a friend. But since we were passing by here, we thought we would solve this situation, which we did. So in fact, we're done here.
I believe a keep like this would be more useful to a knightly order than to wanderers like us.
Yes, we could make great use of this place, actually. We could bring recruits here, train them, and help restabilize the area.
Yes, you would also be able to man both sides of the river this way.
True enough. Of course, it's not up to me. I have the lady to answer to.
Yeah.
Of course.
I think for 10,000 gold pieces, we'll sell it to you.
My impression is that this place does not belong to you.
Would a rather better deal be that, as long as we are in the area, that if we need shelter for the night, that we could knock at the door and have a place to sleep. After all, we also risked our lives in reclaiming and safeguarding this area.
Well, I'm not quite authorized to make these kind of transactions and deals. I would suggest perhaps there is some initial compromises to come forward to, and then I suggest you mash out the further details with the lady back at home base.
For a start, I would propose, since the bandits stole most of our equipment earlier, that we at least get some salvage rights as we search through this keep.
Yes, well, I mean, if it's on the table that the Order of the Knights of Samurai could, in theory, take possession of this fortification, I am even on the promise of that, and your goodwill in releasing these imprisoned peasants, that it seems fitting that the order would compensate you for any of the wealth contained within, as in you will take rights to that, and we can take rights to the fortification itself, and perhaps there shall be some additional deal on the part of the lady, considering the fact that such a fortification is of course worth immensely more than the provisions that have been bought here. If there are no provisions, perhaps we can, or rather, if the provisions are of no use to you, perhaps we can arrange to instead barter for gold, in which case I would again write a letter to my lady and urge you to go back and speak with her yourself to do the final negotiations.
Yes, but there is one thing we need now.
What is this?
Do you find that we have been brave in battle?
Oh, yes.
Do you find that we have been strong?
Clearly.
Do you find that we have distinguished ourselves on the field of battle?
Yes, of course.
And I would like you to make us all knights.
Again, it is not up to me, it is up to the lady.
What? You can do this on the field of battle, man.
Not without my commander here. No.
What if she was dead?
I don't like your implications there.
No, I mean, what are the options here?
I mean, you petition the order to join and could see expedition to the such ranks, perhaps.
I thought more of a honorary title, like, you know.
It may well be that that is a part of your recompense, but again, I'm not the commander, and I'm a junior knight, despite my age. One does not just simply become a knight overnight. Normally, I realize these are extenuating circumstances, but we barely know each other.
I see. I understand. Well, then, I guess, sure. I only heard half of what you say, so yeah, I agree.
Wow.
Okay.
Apologies for that beast.
All right. Yep. Interesting. Okay. So.
Let's go search the keep.
Yes. I have prepared for this a little bit.
Okay.
So there is quite a list of items to be found. Just on your enemies alone. Let's see if this actually works. Oh, it does. Good.
Wait. Was I the one? Yeah, I was the one tracking the party loot in this game.
Megalodon axe. I think my choice is made.
That
Can
is...
I have the studded leather?
Man, I was gonna take that, but if you want it, go ahead. I'm a
No, no, no.
backline fighter
Look,
anyway.
Or what is
I-
shark skin?
Shark skin is an unusual... let me see, I have a text for that as well. An unusual, strange aquatic armor made from the cured skin of a large shark, with strategically placed shark teeth along the forearms, shoulders, and shin guards. It protects as studded leather, and provides advantage on checks to escape from a grapple if the opponent is not wearing armor or has no natural armor. It does have a bit of a funky sort of sea smell. And I can put the description in there. It wasn't a nice macro, by the way, it was just copied from Excel. The Megalodon axe does that.
Well, I'm fine with smelling bad. So if you want the studded leather, I can have the shark skin.
Yep.
Is this fair? Thank you for letting me have it.
I also want to say, if I find my own armor back, the Mariner's chain shirt is also up for grabs then.
You guys do find your equipment stored in the armory, which is I will get to as well. In fact, I may as well put the other stuff that's in the armory. And I also know how much this is worth once you figure out what you're going to take. So that's that. That's taken. That's taken.
Well, yeah. I'll also take a bunch of arrows.
So do any of you have access to like identify? I mean, I assume now that you're taking the equivalent of a long rest now, securing the fort, like spending the rest of the day searching it, making sure there's nothing else hidden, securing it. Am I correct in that assumption? And this is the time in which you also will technically level.
I don't have it.
I do not have it.
Have what?
Identify.
Oh, right, yeah.
I do have detect magic.
Right. Okay, well, you know how identification works. You spend... If you don't have the spell, you just spend a short rest with an item and you basically figure out through experimentation how to use it.
Yeah.
So, assuming you guys are taking a longer rest, I'm just going to identify the other items you find for you. But there is quite a lot in the keep.
Okay.
So, one thing you notice on is up in the... let me just move the center position so people at home can see. In the tower to the I guess it would be the east, southwest. What am I saying? Where you saw this sort of sergeant that was in charge of the portcullis and the gates. You find a strongbox there, and the strongbox contains 150 silver, 40 gold, and a potion of healing and a potion of diminution. Yes, sometimes there are hard words even for me. In the water tower, the one to the southeast, you find an old saddlebag, which contains 70 gold pieces and 12 platinum pieces, and also 6 agates, which are worth 10 gold pieces each. In the harbour, on the vessel, you find something rather strange. A cache of large volumes of books that appear to be written in the Dwarvish script. And those of you in the search party might recognize them as belonging to the Dwarven scholar who travelled with you from Mirabar, the dwarf known as Ruldensa.
Okay.
Which is a rather odd thing to turn up here, especially since the delegation didn't appear at the hall as first thought.
That's worrying.
It is a bit disconcerting. But your discoveries do not end there. For in the kitchens, you find 12 casks of ale, which are worth 10 gold pieces each. In an old library, you find a chest, which contains a couple of interesting items, including 80 silver, 30 gold, and a silk pouch containing 4 excellent jaspers worth 70 each. also a scroll of haste and a scroll of wall of water. There are also 12 valuable books in there, each worth 25 gold pieces. Obviously, these are slightly heavier items, which can be taken to market. And in the what appears you suspect to be Grimjaw's chambers, you find his loot, which consists of 600 silver, 450 electrum pieces, and a pouch containing 15 azurites, which are worth 10 gold pieces each. So quite a trove.
Yeah.
Overnight you've gone certainly from rugged travelers to considerably wealthy. Many of the items not as valuable because they're used weapons and arms. Some of them looked used even before they probably came here. And of course then there's probably building materials there as well, like raw stone for rebuilding masonry, materials for creating mortar, everything you would expect to see on a construction site.
So the casks of ale, those are like the big barrels, like 200 liters or something?
I don't think they're quite that big. I think it would be like a sort of cask this sort of size. Like, I guess that's hard for you to tell, but something like that.
It's one of those smaller casks.
Yeah, not quite the kind you'd stick around the neck of a Saint Bernard, but the next size up.
Yeah. Okay.
It's probably about the size of the Saint Bernard's torso.
Something like that. Yeah. Well, they're pretty big dogs.
They are, I guess.
Okay. I guess if we want casks of ale to trade, we'd better load them up on one of the ships.
All right.
Because just lugging them around doesn't seem very.
What's the total here?
Well,
I look at the smart guys.
I've been adding up the coin. I see here by now we're carrying a total of 12 platinum.
Just to make it extra clear, Eric, there's 17 light crossbows, so I don't think you can definitely each take one.
Yeah. There was only one heavy crossbow though.
Yes, only one heavy.
So I'm letting Everil take it, and I'm just going to take a light crossbow because I was just taking it for like backup in case I'm out of range of cantrips and out of spells.
We don't have ranged cantrips, man.
I do now. I leveled up.
Okay.
So the general provisions and items there. After like an hour or so, when one of the scholar squire follows around, makes a marking of that, brings it back to the knights to discuss, and after you've taken your share of stuff that you want to keep, they come up with a figure of let's see, that plus that plus that. So 1,201 gold pieces for all of the weapons and arms.
That's that's for the armor and weapons. That's not for the. That's on top of the gold we found, right?
On top of the gold you found, on top of everything that was on those equipment lists. That's just for like what's being found in the armory and what's being found on the enemies you've defeated.
Okay.
Because everything else I gave you a price for.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I'm imagining this scene where I'm sitting at this big table with and everybody's bringing in this stuff and putting it on the table, and Gak is counting it up, and Sadas is looking at it like, okay, but how much is it?
well,
Can you even count?
I can count, but
I have-
I'm used to when I look already. I take a fistful
I
of
have a
coins.
pretty
And
fair
I'm like,
intelligence.
these aren't nice. I like the shinies. So what's the total? And then I want to take my part in shinies.
Yep.
It's a lot. I think if I give you all the gems, it's still less than a part.
Okay, that's fine. But so how much is it?
Well, including what we were already carrying from our earlier conquests, we are now 12 platinum, 450 electrum, 1450 gold pieces, 831 silver pieces, and 12 copper pieces.
Gak, give me a total in gold. Just a total. I'm a simple man.
Ah, well, okay.
Ayu, please come here. Give a hand to this guy. Ayu.
He's
He
counting.
walks over like, excuse me, what?
Can you help Gak here? Because
You assume I care enough to count all this? I'm a woman of nature, not a woman of counting.
I look around. Boy, don't we have a wizard somewhere?
Yeah, I
Yep.
can figure it out.
1,882 gold pieces plus some change.
That's the total.
Yeah, excluding
1,800.
excluding the 1200 or so.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's not yet.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, 1,800 divided 5 is 350 something, maybe. Ah. 1,800 divided 5. 360. Okay, very well. So if you don't mind, I'll take the 4 Jaspers, which is 280, right?
Yes.
And
Zardas gets out his abacus.
yeah, I get out my abacus.
You want some of the Azurites? They're nice
yeah,
and blue.
to round it up. Yeah, exactly. So the Jaspers. Hey, Jasper. How many Jaspers are there? 4 per Jaspers, 70 GP each, which is 280. And then I need another 120. So those 15, 120 divided 15. So I'll take 8 Azurites, right? What do I call it? Yeah, 8 Azurites.
Sure.
And that's it. And I'm
you have
sorry
your
we
piece.
didn't find jewels because my idea is to wear my treasure on me.
Oh,
You know, if we ever
Maybe
find a
you
necklace, I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to wear it.
maybe you can find a jeweler who can add those jewels to.
I'm
to the
going to be
necklace.
the most pimped out barbarian there is out there. You'll see.
I was just looking at him strangely. It's like, all right, you wear the loot.
I will. Now it's only stones, but they're shiny. They're nice. And then you know, when we get the money from that stuff, I can have some cash.
Okay.
Okay.
Just
So
let me know
you've
when it's
gotten
turned
your
into cash.
piece. You're not getting any gold then once we're dividing the rest.
Which rest?
Well, actually, wait. You only took your piece of the gold, so actually no.
Yeah.
Once we start selling, what else is left over?
You know, I'm just
let's
out
get
game.
some.
I just want to make sure to
Yeah.
save this stuff before you sell it because I want to
Yeah.
keep track of my jewels and gems and all the stuff. Okay, that's it. And on the magical side, what was it again? Some scrolls, which I don't need. A potion of healing. Anybody wants a potion of healing?
You take
I-
it. You have no
yeah.
healing capabilities, magical wise.
Yeah, you should take it, big guy.
Okay. The potion of diminution, I will never, ever drink it. Its others must be bigger, not smaller.
I mean, I can already decrease my size by turning into a mouse, so I don't need it.
Can you even turn tiny?
Yeah. Turned into geckos.
Well, a pretty large gecko, probably.
Pretty large gecko, but I can turn pretty small.
Sir Kale comes up with a list to Zardas after a couple of hours, and he's like, "Alright, yes, here we go. So,
I'll take the potion of diminution.
very good. It's all yours. I have this list here and a note for the direct exchange of 1,201 gold pieces worth of provisions, quite a considerable amount of silver, if you ask me. However, I find myself, or rather we find ourselves, in an unusual spot where really it is quite difficult to spare the men to, if we are to hold this fort. And would your group be... Would you consider returning to the hall with news of this capture, that we might have fresh troops sent to reinforce us? I'm sure the lady will compensate you, and that is where you'll get your gold.
I could fly straight towards the keep, ignoring the terrain, and I can fly at night even, but in fact I would be safer flying at night, as long as I get to rest beforehand.
I suppose so. I mean, yes, sure. If that's what you wish to do, I suppose I hadn't really considered that mode of transportation myself, having no wings.
Well, I think it would be definitely the fastest way to get there. Wouldn't have to travel down the river or up the roads.
Yeah, and I really want to go to Red Lark.
I see.
I mean, we have enough money to be in a tavern. I mean, I want to thank your lady for the whatever reward she wants to give us, but honestly, now I don't need it.
Zardas, you do recall, like, I mean, you can certainly go to Red Lark, but you do recall that the prophetic dream that was sent to you indicated that your purpose was no longer to necessarily to go there. That's not where the mission lay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me go and read the dream again, which was put on the site for our convenience. Let me have a look at that. Info. You are straight from the path revealed and into the unknown. The river of time bends, twists and forks in many places. I see more dimly than before. The soulmonger calls. There is yet time for you before the princes come and the evil eye opens and casts its apocalyptical gaze upon the face of Faerun. 4 pillars stand above ancient Besilmer, one for each element, and beneath each lies a secret way into the earth of that ancient realm. 4 temples of evil rest upon its bones. Below them still lies the blasphemy raised by fallen Elithir. Strike too soon into the black depths below, and the suffering of Dessalin will hasten. Wait too long, and you shall seal the doom of all. Seek the fate of those you have traveled to find what you in turn seek. Okay, so we have to go to this place called Besilmer.
The place that you have traveled... Well, you can make a history check.
No,
Sure.
I mean, I meant to have with, as in...
18, man.
The
Yeah.
fate of those you have traveled with, right?
Yeah, that's what it was meant to be.
So we need to go back to the knights and find out if our fellow travelers from before have arrived already.
Ah, okay.
If they haven't arrived yet, then it might be necessary to look for them, because they should have arrived days ago by now.
But does anyone here know where Besilmer is, or what it is?
Well, you do, because you recall from the trip down with the delegation, overhearing the discussions of the dwarves Your impression is that Basilmer is an ancient dwarven civilization that once ruled in these parts. So you would expect at some kind of dwarven ruin.
Okay. But where? We don't know where.
That's the big question.
That is the question.
It is still a prophecy, so it's still a little bit
Okay.
unclear.
Okay. But it's a dwarven place, right?
That's your impression, yes. But Basilmer is definitely a dwarven.
So
it was a dwarven kingdom.
that dwarven scholar may know more if we ask him.
He would certainly know more about that, yes.
Which
Okay, I look
is
at
the worrying part.
I look at the knight. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to your lady. I changed my mind.
You're trying to avoid it to avoid the shame of the last visit.
I changed my mind. I'm going to go there as a winner this time, and she's going to change her mind too. You will see.
Okay. So, what do we do? Shall I fly straight ahead to deliver the message to the knights that the keep is taken?
You know, we are coming
Send
anyhow.
reinforcements?
We're going anyhow. So you can go ahead if you want.
Yeah.
You know,
And then
we can put you guys back on the world map to just look at the distances.
if you guys travel down the river on the boat, you can get you can sell, for example, the casks of ale on the way over.
So let's see.
Let us see. What do we have here? We have a map. So we are.
So you guys are at Riverguard Keep here, and normally you would have to go all the way down to Wormford.
Oh, there.
And come back up to Summit Hall. However, now you have a boat, so you can simply cross the river, and it will just take you half a day, pretty much. Like
that's true. Oh, it's great. Okay.
Yeah, it's only about. I think each one is 3 or 4 miles. Yeah, one hex is 4 miles. So it's only about 16 miles to Summit Hall from where you are.
Then we'll take the River Maiden. We'll go there, and then after day we're at Summit Hall. Oh, okay, that's great.
Yeah, that sounds like the better option then. We can all travel together.
However,
look at this axe. Gak, look at this axe. It's made from the bone of a megalodon, whatever that may be.
Yes.
what of the fate of the commoners that you went to Riverguard Keep to rescue?
They can choose. What would they like to do? Would they like to become squires and man this place and knights of Samuel themselves?
Well, you could speak to them, and they're a little bit uncertain as to whether or not it's a wise idea to go back. On the one hand, they are a little bit traumatized by this place, but on the other, they don't really feel safe going back to their homestead either, considering the fact that, you know, they got kidnapped. And they feel safer in the proximity of the knights and rescuers who seem to be treating them fairly.
Well, I'm sure the knights will also need manservants in the keep. Paid servants, of course, not like the bandits.
And Sir Cale is open to such an arrangement, so I think at this point at least they're willing to stay on until the keep is at least secured, and Sir Cale will happily agree that once the keep is secured, he'd be happy to send some of his knights to escort them back to their dwelling if they want to do that. Otherwise, they would be welcome to continue to work in the keep.
Okay. The guy I smashed his nose.
Yeah. They... I gotta switch maps again. Let's see. Keep. His name is.
Any
Man,
name?
I never liked this guy.
No, his name.
Names for kid.
His name is Gorm.
Gorm. Okay. So, this is the day after now, or where are we?
It's up to you guys. At least it's the end of the day.
Yeah, we took a day. We slept. The thing.
Yep.
I go to Gorm, which probably also woke up by now.
Yep.
Okay. I go there. I have no weapons. And of course, I have no armor. I go to Gorm. I say, "Oh, Gorm, how are you doing?"
I'm working hard.
Okay. Gorm, listen to me. What are you, right-handed or left-handed?
Left.
Left. Okay. I put my face, turn a bit to the left. I say, hit me with your fist as hard as you can.
Right hand. Right hand.
Did you lie about left hand and right hand?
No. I'm MB. What's the face?
Very well. Okay. Well, you choose that. The right or
Yes,
left?
it's probably ambivalent.
Ambivalent. Okay. Very well. So you're ambivalent. So, what are you? Right or left?
Left.
Okay. Just punch me already, man.
No. It's not necessary.
No. Punch me. Don't make me angry, Gorm. Just punch me. I'm asking you. Don't make me ask again.
He's really not convinced that this isn't a trap.
I will try to. I tell him, either you punch me or I will punch you.
He raises his left hand, sorry, and he just slaps you in the face.
Ah, Gorm, no. What is this? What is this, Gorm? Okay. So I take him by the shoulders. I put one of his fists up, the other one in the back. I put him in position. I like, punch me on the face, Gorm.
Alright, let's roll a d20 then.
I'm not defending myself. Just punch me.
Oh, he hits you alright, but he hits you for 1 point of damage.
Okay, so I take the punch. I say, at 1 point of damage, you say it. Okay. So, Gorm, now we are even. It's alright. Now tell me, what were you doing for these bandits? What was your job?
I mean, we heard down at the docks in Wormford, where we're from, and he motions to the two closest ones to him. A guy called Shadnil and another one called Herrick. It's like, we heard that there was business for tough guys going on up here, and we came up and we went through recruit training, and we were tough enough. And,
Okay. What were they paying you for this?
Experience, room and board.
Very well. Gorm, you work for me now. I pay your room and board, and when you perform well, I even give you a few gold coins every week.
Gold coins.
Gold. It's fine.
Wait. What do you need me to do?
You have to be my servant. You have to make my bed in the evening. You have to start up the fire. You have to bring my bags. This kind of stuff. When I go to a city, you go to the tavern, you book a room for me. These kind of things.
I'm not good with numbers.
Which numbers? You don't have to count anything. I'll count the money. You just do stuff.
Okay.
Easy stuff. Do you want the job or not?
How much gold?
2 gold pieces a week. Plus room and board.
How much is that in silver? I've never seen.
20. Okay, you know what? I'm going to give you already a raise. 200 copper pieces every week.
200.
200.
I can't count that high.
It's all right. It's all right.
But wait, every
Don't think too much about it, Gorb.
every
It's a good
2
deal.
hands is a silver.
Doing good.
Don't do it. You'll only hurt yourself.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine, Gorb. That's fine. You know, start with this. This is my old anchor axe. You have to clean it up. You have to shine it up. I need to be able to see myself in the metal. Okay?
But it's rusty.
Yeah. So take care of it. That's the kind of jobs I'm paying you for.
Oh.
Okay, I leave him there.
He will accept, but he doesn't seem too pleased with his activities.
Never asked his
Before I leave the
opinion
room, I say, this is a test, and I leave.
He looks at the others and he's like, "Do you leave the anchor with him?"
Yeah.
And he's like, gets the scruff of his shirt and he starts to try and polish it.
Yeah, I'll see you tonight what the result. Okay, so let's go to Riverguard Keep, to Summit Hall, right?
The next day.
Yeah, like, you know, this was now the next day, so we leave in the morning again.
Yep.
Actually, did we find also food in the keep?
Yeah, it has provisions, so that's not really too much of an issue. You got the river right there, which has plentiful amounts of fish. There's game in the surrounding like hills.
Yeah. Any dried food to replenish rations?
Yeah, that's probably a little bit. I mean, it's probably, you can probably set them to smoke some like fish.
Do they have any seeds?
Seeds.
Yeah, what is Gak going to eat?
Not
think
sausages.
Gak is a raptor.
Yeah, a lot of meat.
You're a rat?
A
Raptor.
like a velociraptor.
A bird of prey.
Oh, okay. So no seeds.
Well, I've added some seeds.
Okay.
It's a
well,
guilty pleasure of his. He wanted
so
to do it.
I put my hand behind my back and I let the seeds drop. I knew that.
Yeah. Okay, so I can make a few rations during our time there in the morning, maybe, or.
Yeah, I'd say so. You can make a survival check.
Okay. 25.
Wow. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. So, you are able to spot plentiful amounts of prey. In fact, I'd say you just get incredibly lucky. Like, there is just a huge buck coming down to drink by the river not far away, and you're just like, loose an arrow and take down this huge buck and drag it back to the keep, and
Wonderful.
they start stripping it down and salting it and making some provisions. So you have enough food for the 5 of you for the next say 5 days or so.
Yeah. All right. Sounds great.
Provided everyone's happy to eat venison.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with it.
I am.
I'd like some fish.
Is there any spices I can bring along? I like it hot.
If you want to go fish, or if you want to add any spices, you can do so yourself.
Yeah, I'll go to fish a bit. Yeah. Or swim.
Who's gonna eat the heart?
You want it?
Yes, of course. The heart is the best part of the buck.
You can have it. I prefer the meat.
Well, it is
I-
meat.
Yeah, it is, but
I start eating it raw.
Okay, you bloody your face quite a bit doing that.
That's. I look at Avril. I said, "What kind of barbaric culture do you come from?"
Zardas, give me a survival check to go fishing.
Sure.
I'd say it's your second nature, however, so you can roll with advantage.
20.
Okay, so yeah, you don't get plentiful amounts.
So I probably found 1d6 plus my wisdom modifier days of. I'm quoting the rules of the game.
Yeah. Oh, right, fair enough, yeah.
3 days of fish.
Fair enough.
Okay, great.
Okay, so, I mean, you've got a good amount of provisions between the three of you, and, I mean, honestly, if you leave at dawn, you should be able to get to Summit Hall by, like, midday.
Okay.
In the morning, you come to survey Gorm's work, and I mean, there's parts of it that look a little bit damp. He looks like, well, he's snoring there, holding the anchor, like he's fallen asleep. You can see he's tried to clean it, but doesn't have. He looks like almost like he's done more harm than good. Like he's chipped away at the silver that was remaining. Strangely enough, that there's less of it there than there was before, but most of it's on the ground. Not like you don't think he's stolen it. You think he's just inept.
I try to read him, and I want to try and understand if he did his best or if he was a lazy bastard.
Roll an insight check.
Feel so bad for this guy.
20.
You feel as if he tried his best under the circumstances. You think, to be perfectly honest, he's never going to be anything more than mediocre. There's a reason why he was not chosen to become a bandit. But at the same time, he could do stuff like collect firewood or set up tents. That's not that bad. It's more a case, and you do get the sense that he, even though that he doesn't have a great command of arithmetic, he certainly is attracted to the lure of gold, or coppers, or silver, or whatever the case might be.
My uncle always used to tell me, the worse the people around you, the better you are. So he's hired.
Damn. It is just sad that you have just heard a man will never be any better than mediocre, no matter how hard he tries. Damn.
Perfect.
Phil, I'm sorry for you, buddy. But someone's got to take the bad end of the stick in life. Thank you.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to transfer control of Gorm to. I'll have to set that.
No,
up
no, it's
later.
fine. No, I'm only going to use this kind of stuff. You know. I'm not bringing him to combat, but you know,
Okay.
to keep the. Or I'm just noting it down as manservant.
It's a bit like in with Ella the Druid and her giant pet rat.
Yeah, something like that.
Never going to use it for combat, but it's just my pet.
Yeah,
I need
Very
to work
good.
on getting me one of those.
and this pet can light a fire. You know.
Okay, so you guys.
So can a baby red dragon?
It's okay. So can my pet rat?
If he knocks over a candle onto something.
Well, I just need to share spells with it.
Are you guys planning to check out anything more with the keep before you're finished, or you're pretty much done at this point?
Okay. Wait. The secret passage. Did we find any other secret passages?
No, but you have got a key that you believe would unlock the river gate.
Wow, with the river gate? You mean that chain?
No. If you recall, it was a while back, but I will just temporarily switch you guys back over to the keep. Or actually, maybe you can see it in the image. Nope. Okay. Let's see. Over to keep. So, just like to the left.
Ah, there.
Yeah.
Ah, there.
There's like a gate
Yes.
in the water,
This one.
where the undead were sort of guarding under the
Yeah,
water.
yeah. Ah, okay. And behind that gate, there is like a
Yeah, there's like a tunnel.
tunnel. Ooh. But nothing. So it's locked with our key, right?
It is locked, but you have all the keys in the keep now, and you're pretty certain that one of them will match this lock.
And can you open it also from the other side?
It would be possible. It's more like just like a jail sort of door
Ah.
sort of situation, although on a much larger scale.
So somebody could come out of there if there is a key. I mean, why would they put a key?
Someone could come out of there, but it's also large enough that technically you could also take a small vessel through, not the like a rowboat.
Like this one.
Yes.
Oh, intriguing. Guys, more water.
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
These guys were a cult, right? Didn't they mention stuff about water and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they seem to have been worshipping some kind of entity called Hydra.
Hell Hydra.
Would this maybe be one of these 4 pillars that we dreamt about?
Oh,
Calm down.
you can roll an insight check.
Inside?
Jack. Yeah.
Ah, Gak, sorry.
19.
You're having to think about the dream, and I mean, you saw 4 pillars, but it was abstract. But there's a part of you that thinks, well, a pillar is like a tower above the ground, right? In a sense. So what if the keep itself is one of these 4 pillars?
Yeah, I will voice my idea.
All right.
So, yeah, what if this keep is one of the pillars of our dream?
Nah, that doesn't make sense.
What? How did the dream go again?
Well, you know me, right? I go and take the boat.
Yeah, ignore all other plots.
Let's first go to the summit hall as we promised, so they can reinforce this keep, and then we can do whatever else we like.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. We need to boat to that so we can cross the river and be there fast enough. Road.
All right. Then I will keep the key. I don't want anyone at that gate without me.
Okay.
You know, you're gonna turn it into a necklace. Nice little string through it. Wear it around your neck.
Yes.
Temple of
Hey.
Evil, though,
Temple of Doom.
would rest upon the bones.
All right. So you guys are down here. Oh, I should do it on
Okay, let's go to Summit Hall.
So I guess you set out the morning after and take the boat across the waters and start heading towards Summit Hall. I would like one of you to roll a d20 for me.
Just a d20?
Yes, please. Oh.
Oh.
Very nice. Thank you.
Sawdust beat us to it.
Nice
Is
high
this where we
rolls
run
too.
into death? Is this
Death.
where we run into our death? Look, I paid my dues, Mr. Death. Leave me alone. Give me enough souls.
Do you? Let's see.
We have a priest, right? Can you please get your holy symbol out? Just in case Death starts walking over? It works, right?
That was a comforting.
Got it. Run faster than you.
All right. When you guys are about here, sorry, there, you come to what appears to be a homestead.
Oh.
And there is a family of halflings that seem to be working their farm, and as you sort of approach, they seem to scuttle about, and it appears from a distance that they seem to have they're building a fence, but not a fence to keep livestock in. It looks like it's some kind of fence that is some very basic form of fortification, and as you approach closer, you see that they've built a rudimentary ditch in front of it.
Why do they have children making fortifications?
Hell!
Hydra.
Okay.
All Hydra.
Do you wish to approach closer or bypass it?
Sure.
Let's
That's
approach.
If there's something dangerous in this area, might be best to know.
As you get closer, they say, "Hold, strangers! What are you doing in our lands? State your purpose." You don't quite see, or you can roll some perception checks. Alright, well, let's just put it this way, that IU doesn't need to roll a perception check pretty much ever again.
21 passive perception.
Yeah. So even so, you rolled the 22. IU, Grozak, Everall, and Zardas, everyone except for Gak, actually. Ironically, because you notice on top of one of the buildings, there is a halfling that looks to be it's a male halfling, and he's got what looks to be some kind of like a pot on his head as a helmet, and he seems to be brandishing some kind of weapon, although it's hard from this angle to notice it.
I'm not used to spotting things from ground level.
These are strange times. Strangers, state your business.
Walking?
We are on our way to Summit Hall.
Oh, you with the knights?
Yes.
Right. Okay. You're not bandits then?
No. Do you have a lot of trouble with bandits here?
Oh,
Yeah.
all kinds of things. The weather's been real strange just this morning. Just this morning, there was snow on the ground. It's all gone now. Yep, melted away right now.
No. At this time of year, in this
It-
place,
Did we see any snow? When we...
Nope. You can see that the ground is still a bit wet, and here and there, now that he points it out, there is a little bit of moisture.
Wait though, there was snow this morning, right?
It was here.
And now it's all gone, right?
Yes.
And with snow you mean this white, powdery material, right?
Boy, you've never seen snow before.
Well, there isn't much snow under the water, but okay, that's right. So yeah, how come it is gone? Did you take it away, or did it just disappear?
This morning, snowstorm. This afternoon, heat wave.
A snowstorm and then a heat wave.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Kill
Oh
him and
man,
sword.
Doesn't sound good for your crops.
I think you worked too much.
Look, we don't want any trouble with strangers.
and we offer none. We're just seeing why you're building these reinforcements. If there's some type of trouble in the area, we were just curious, so we don't run into it.
Haven't you heard people are being snatched from their homes?
We have, and I believe we dealt with that problem.
Really? Why? How?
Looked as artist is like, you're the one who likes to boast about your achievements?
Yeah, but these people are not really, say, the kind of crowd that I, look at them.
We're the bandits at Riverguard Keep who are taking prisoners, and we've taken care of these bandits.
Huh?
Indeed. Have you not been accosted by any people with sharp-tooth weapons?
We took care of them yesterday, guys.
No. It's the flying ones.
The flying ones?
Yeah, big birds.
I immediately look at Gak and like, do you know of any of your people around here?
It's your moment to shine.
No, I haven't heard anything about that. So where did these, which direction did these birds go in?
Over mountains. Well, I guess you'd call them hills, but to us they're mountains.
Oh wait, there was that church in the mountain, right? That we saw.
Eh?
There's actually also an X now, the Sacred Stone Monastery. Maybe that's what he means, or is it completely on the other side?
I've not really a monastery. I guess they're off in that direction. But I mean, if you ask me, I guess it was more in the direction of like back the way you've come, like Feathergale's Spire.
Feathergale Spire. Where is that?
Where is it?
Where is it? Yeah,
To the east. I mean the west.
to the west. Riverguard Keep is to the west.
Is that a one that's over the water?
That's the water. Yeah. Yep.
It's further than that.
Further than that.
Yeah, like halfway between that and Redlock.
And like at the edge of the sun. Deep hills.
What?
Like, would we have to climb on the hills, or would it stay on the grassland?
It's like up on you have to get into the hills. Look, here. He sort of points it out, and with a few back and forths like this, you're able to eventually figure out where it is. So I will mark on your map for the gale.
Okay, so I guess Summit Hall, see what they say, and then on our way to this Feathergale Spire, we could check out this sacred stone thing, right?
You
Sounds
do
like a
what
good-
you want, but I'd watch yourselves out there.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the warning.
Dangerous times.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
While we're at Summon Hall, first let's find out what happened to our fellow travelers and see if we can track them down.
I agree.
All right, so you spend you
Very
don't
well.
really...
So while I leave, I flip my thumb like this. I say, "This is for the information. Thank you, old man."
What do you give him? Sorry.
Nothing.
Oh, Jesus.
You are.
Righto, Sonny. So you guys
on the fortifications.
You guys continue on to Summit Hall, which, for the benefit of our audience, it's a small stronghold that stands on a hilltop in the southern region of the Somber Hills. It consists of a stone hall, surrounded by a 15-foot wall with a sturdy wooden gate, stables, a tower, barracks, and storage buildings are enclosed within a protective wall, and a banner flying an emblem of a crossed torch and sword flutters overhead. So you return to Summit Hall, and there is a knight waiting there to greet you as you arrive. And she says, "Ah, you have returned. Shall I take you to Lady Ushin? I assume you have some news. Why have you not returned with Sir Kale and the others?"
They are still in the keep.
I see. They weren't captured, right?
No, we've taken the keep successfully, but they are manning it until reinforcements can be sent.
Very good. I will go and speak to the lady promptly. So she leaves you to a squire who escorts you into the hall. And again, you see the training yard that's there, with the sort of trainees and squires going through their morning, well, I guess afternoon exercises. And take note once again of the small chapel to the god Tyr, and also the fact that they seem to be quite self-sufficient here, with a considerable sized vegetable farm. And some livestock in addition to the regular stables. And you are ushered into the Great Hall, where Lady Ushin is waiting for you, and she looks up and gives Zardas a bit of a, you have returned.
I bow
Like
down
she was,
on
like she was like she's happy to see me, or not?
Not
Not
really, not really. It's kind of awkward.
It's kind of awkward. Okay, I say yes, but my companions can explain you everything better, and I will take my leave. And I go out.
Wow.
Well, that's the first
right
time
away
I've
from
seen
a lady.
someone shut him down.
Ayu looks at her and is like, "Did you use a spell? He's never done that."
She is a senior knight, a human woman of around about 60 years. That did not stop Zardas last time from making some advancements that were not so appreciated by the lady. However, as you come in, she calls for food to be brought in. In fact, the plate is brought out to Zardas as well, of fish. Although, from the taste of it was probably fished a few days ago, and just dried, so it's quite simple.
Is there any cheese and anything spicy?
I mean, there is some stuff like that. Let's
Perfect.
see.
Take as much of it as I can.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
So yeah, it's like a platter of dried meats, berries, fresh vegetables, sort of like the kind of. There will be some cheese there. Pretty simple stuff though.
This is fine.
Very local farmers market-y style stuff. But
This is
Lady
fine.
Ushin is like, so please tell me what has befallen Sir Kale and Dame Forthright and their men and women.
I don't recall any of the squires or knights actually getting injured. Maybe like a scratch or two, but nothing major.
So you're able to take the keep.
Yes. What's his name? Grimjaw.
Intro.
He turned out to be a werebore, and he has been dealt with by Zardas himself.
Oh,
Put a silvered axe right through the heart, I believe.
that is very fortunate.
Skull.
I suppose he has redeeming qualities.
He's a very good fighter when he's not talking.
Nevertheless, is there perhaps a remiss of some kind of information that has been provided by Sir Kale?
Yes, I will hand her that paperwork for the 1,200 gold pieces.
The important stuff.
You guys
we
are
have taken the keep. We have taken the salvage. The sir asked about reinforcements, as they are not with enough to hold the keep, however.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
and the keep is in reasonable condition.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It will require some construction work, but it is more than reasonable.
Do you have a method of transport across the river?
We
Yes.
have a vessel.
May it be used by the Order to transport some additional personnel across?
I
Ayu
would
looks
say
at
so.
everybody.
I do not object.
I have no problem with it.
This remiss here discusses the fact that you are to be partially compensated for some of the treasures found within, and that I am to negotiate some kind of arrangement, since the keep is considerably valuable, even in its poor state of repair. Some kind of recommendation here for initiation. You are interested in joining the Order?
Zardis seemed to want to be a part of the knighthood, it seemed.
I'm not sure he possesses the correct qualities we're looking for in our knights. Although, obviously, he is quite a brave warrior. Although martial competence is not the only virtue we look for in our knights.
He can be very virtuous with his 7 sharks.
Don't ask about that. It's better that you don't.
I know far too much about his traditions as it is.
Alright.
However, considering all this, clearly you are allies of the Order of the Knights of Samunar, and I shall recognize you as such. I will write up some documents so that should you present these writs, that I shall provide lodging and food will be provided at any of our I suppose bases of operation, including here at Summit Hall and I suppose at Rivercard Keep. Of course, the 1201 gold pieces may take a slight amount of time to we have the supplies here to a value of that, but I assume you wish for liquid assets rather than the kind of supplies to run a place such as this. But
unless Everal or Grajak want to equip themselves from your armory, I would say...
I have my armor back and my shield, so I'm fine.
Okay. That's great then.
I am willing to provide access to our smith. Something could be made to order, although of course the skills of our smith are nothing compared to, for example, what you could find in Tribor, but he can provide serviceable arms and armor if necessary. That is a possibility. Of course, you will need to be compensated more than just this for the keep. I must think about this a little bit, I think.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Mounts could do very well for us. We do travel a bit, so being able to travel a bit quicker and carry more stuff on a horse would be very helpful.
Horses could be
possible.
provided, yes. That certainly can be negotiated, but again, a keep is worth rather more than a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Let us just say that a yet to be determined amount of we shall have to sort this out over a longer period of time. Let's just say that.
Of course.
However, and I will send a garrison to come into the keep. Just go and fetch that creature of yours. It's best if he is present.
Yes. Now, before we do anything else, I do have one more important question for you. The party traveling with the Dead Knight, have they arrived already?
They have not. In fact, that was going to be the next order of business.
Yes, we believe
Oh.
they should have arrived here some days ago, no?
They definitely should have arrived. They're well overdue now.
Yes. Our next plan would be to find them. We believe they are connected to a mission of ours.
Yes. I would be willing to try and secure some additional funds to finance such an expedition on behalf of the Order. Of course, if we're going to garrison Riverguard Keep, I am going to have trouble sparing the men at the moment. So, if you would be interested in pursuing the fate, have you had any clues whatsoever? As
We did find
Not
some.
yet.
We did find some books of what was it, Darnathal? Thalabir? I don't do dwarvish names too well.
Brutaldar.
That. We found some of his books, which was an odd find, to say
yes,
the least.
I believe he is supposed to be traveling with this delegation. My suggestion would be to travel north along the road to Beliard and retrace their steps that they would have taken when you parted ways. You said you last saw them at Tribor, yes?
At
Yeah.
to Westbridge, I believe.
Actually, no, that's not accurate. You guys left and went on ahead at Tribor. They were headed to
right.
Westbridge and were going to head to Beliard. But
Yes,
you haven't
correct.
seen them since you left because your pace on the
Correct.
road without them is
Yeah.
about twice or 3 times as fast. So. But they are well overdue now.
Yes.
Okay, it's only 24 miles to Beliard. It's like 1 day travel.
Yes, at least for you. And if we provide the horses, perhaps this can be resolved even quicker. Please go to Beliard and search for clues. I would also like to hear more about this water cult that Sir Kale has mentioned. It was mentioned that some of them escaped. Do you know anything more about them?
Is Ben cutting out a little bit for anybody else?
Yeah, he's cutting out.
Oh.
Also, just to interrupt a moment, we got cheers through
Oh,
the experience system.
who from?
Axilium.
Oh, thank you, mate.
Hey, thank you, Zelia.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, we need to drink.
I took a drink because I was thirsty.
It's just Coke.
Cheers.
I'm just
I've
drinking
been
tea.
thirsty all night, so.
Alright, guys. Do any of you need a break, or should we just soldier on through?
For me, it's fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Alright.
Ready?
I haven't killed anything today, so.
So what was the final question? Because you did cut out for a while.
Right, sorry. She was asking if you had any further information about this cult that seems to have been embedded in Riverguard Keep.
Yeah, they mentioned something about an all Hydra, but
Hydra. Not familiar with that term.
yeah, that's about the most that I caught on myself.
They seem to praise it like some deity, maybe.
They
Or
seem
something.
to, yeah, their fate seemed to be connected to the water.
A few of them did escape through a passage, but we blocked it up so they couldn't come back through, so that the knights would be safer.
Right, yes. That just doubles the importance of getting them over. So, I will send a detachment immediately. With any luck, they'll manage to get there by nightfall.
Yes. We will ferry them over the river then.
It should shorten the trip to. It took us half a day to get here, so.
Very well, if you wish to go ahead. That is, I suppose with horses you should be able to travel considerably faster, actually. So, if you press the horses, you should be able to get there in just a matter of hours, and perhaps in time enough to return here for the night, and perhaps in the morning you could set out to Belliot.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
I shall write to our chapter houses and to our creditors in Yatar, and of course in Waterdeep, and see about procuring those funds and additional means. I suppose, in addition to our papers of association, if one of you should wish to join the order, you would be accepted into an accelerated training program, provided that one could demonstrate over a period of time that one is capable of following the tenets of Tyr and orders of superiors.
I would be fine with just a blessing personally, if you could provide such a thing, that is.
While I appreciate the offer, I'm not looking to join the knighthood.
Very well, the offer shall stand in any case. She does, in particular, letterize linger on Grozek.
Grozek is actually thinking it over and like, I would like to know more, and if I would have the time to stay in Skip to meditate on the tenets of Tyr.
Yes, well, I can tonight introduce you to a few people here and see if it might be something of interest to you.
Because I have had experience, of course, with superiors and nightly training, not complete training of a knight.
Yes, I thought I recognized something kindred in the way that you bear yourself.
It is. It is also a. I hope my oath does not come into conflict with the teaching of Tyr.
Well, we can only see by discussing and seeing if they are compatible. But in the meantime, I would urge you, if you are going to go back to your vessel yourselves, that we muster the troops as soon as possible. Assuming that you are finished with your meals.
Are you still
Yes.
just stuffing your face with cheese? It's like, good. You just can go with me.
Yes, that is perfectly fine.
Yes.
So you finish your meal, and they start sort of mounting up the horses, and they show you to the stables, and there is a horse each for you if you're interested.
I am very interested. It will take me a
Very
horse.
interested.
How fast does a horse travel?
Let's just put it this way. Gak, you can travel about as fast as a horse, but in the air.
Yes.
Look at my horse.
Your wings might get tired, so you might want to take one just in case.
Yeah, but then I have to care for it as well, and that sounds like it.
I'll care for it. It's my specialty.
Yeah, no, I don't want to take a horse just to ignore it most of the time.
Your choice.
But if it's well cared for in the group, then I will. Then sure, I can take it. It will be useful for the times when it's not as feasible to scout up in the sky.
Mm-hmm. And it can help you carry your equipment if you don't want to bring it with you for whatever reason.
True. Yeah, the horse comes also with saddlebags.
Yes, like it's fully provisioned. So
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you want, we can play this out, or we can gloss over returning to the river, transporting the troops back to the keep, and returning to Summit Hall. It's up to you guys.
Question: if we go to with the boat to the stone bridge, are we faster than taking the road from Riverguard to Stone Bridge and then those 2 hexagons to Belliard? Then we don't have to come back to Summit Hall. We don't have to walk. We just do everything.
No, you think because of the conditions of the river that I mean it's possible to get all the way up to like the city in the north known as Yata.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are parts where the river is more windy. On horseback, it would honestly be much faster. Not to mention the fact that if you go by the route that you're expecting the delegation to travel by, you're much less likely to miss a clue if there is one.
Okay.
Yes.
Then we'll take the horses.
Yes. Our goal is really to find the delegation, not to get there as soon as possible.
Okay, great.
Well, you think it will still be probably quicker traveling by horse anyway. Well, it all depends. The River Maiden certainly, but if you took the other one, it is a little bit faster.
Okay.
But so we'll gloss over that trip then. So you go back to the shore, transport the reinforcements to Riverguard Keep, and arrive back at Summit Hall by nightfall. You spend the night there. Drazak can contemplate whether or not the knightly order will suit him.
Out of character, the player has decided, yes, he will join the order.
Okay, great. So basically you're taken through that evening just the basics, and you're given this task as a sort of like first mission for the order. To sort of like prove yourself in the accelerated program.
Okay.
I
humbly accept the mission given to me.
She says we would welcome a creature of your prowess into our order. But of course, it would be unfair to the other knights who have been here many years to just accelerate you and to raise you to that level immediately. But
I would even refuse it then.
You are indeed the kind of candidate we are looking for. Go then with our blessing to Belliard in the morning, and hopefully you will find clues.
I thank you.
Okay.
What about the vessels, like the River Zaras? You want? Maybe we could negotiate keeping one of the vessels, but storing at Riverguard Keep for now.
Well, you captured both of them, so that was you guys.
Yeah. Of course, we cannot take them along with us on the road.
They can use our vessels until we return to take possession of them.
They kindly accept that offer, and
though the River Maiden will now be renamed the Seventh Shark.
All right.
If it happens to catch fire, I will not miss it.
Damn.
All right, saved.
Good. Now there is one thing I need to understand.
Yes.
This horse thing. How does it work? Why am I supposed to? So do I sit on the thing or?
Yes, there is a saddle and the stable master.
It's like a chair.
Yeah. Yes, it's like a chair. Exactly.
There's also a special place for kind of special people. So like very important people, and they put them underneath the horse so they are protected.
But underneath the horse there is this very long. Unai be No. Okay, but how does the horse know?
Perhaps one of you others who is already acclimated to horses could instruct your companion on how one rides.
So I need a crash course in horse ride.
It appears so.
Though when they start to teach me, I'm like, hey, this is quite similar to another thing I'm very good at.
I can only imagine what that other thing might be. Please do share, Zardis.
No, that's all fine, are you? Unless you want me to show you.
You can use Gak over there as an example. Please do show me.
No,
that's not
rather
the
not.
way it works. That's not the way it works.
Well, then I guess I'm not
Grazak
getting a showing.
And I'm actually shivering at what the results may be. Anyhow, off we go on this weird beast.
Yeah. So the following day, you guys set out into the hills, and as you start heading north, one of you can give me a language proficiency. One of you can give me a D20 roll.
I shall do it this time. I believe in myself. A 6.
Alright, so the trip up into the mountains is quiet. The terrain is, well, it's not quite mountains, it's more like rugged hills. The very same that you guys crossed, cross-country, in fact, on your way from Westbridge to the north. When you entered this region. And the road seems difficult in places to trace. You don't. You can give me a survival check, a group survival check. So someone can roll.
I guess either Gak or Ayu.
Yeah. I would say that one can roll and get advantage from the others. Okay, so 23.
A 21, or was that with advantage, or?
Yes. Yeah, 23.
Yeah, 23 then.
Nope.
What?
My roll finally went through.
That one's
I
not.
clicked it and it just did not go through. There it is. Thank you, Gak, for rolling.
Okay, so the Sarin Road leads north through the barren Sumber Hills. You don't meet any other travelers this day, but you find evidence that the trail supports traffic, such as wagon ruts and mule droppings, which prove that people travel this way on a regular basis. You find nothing else until you're about 15 miles south of Belliard, when you spot a cloud of ravens and vultures circling a mile or so west off the trail.
Oh no. That does not look good.
Will someone take care of my horse so I can scout up ahead towards those birds?
Yeah,
Sure.
I've got it. Go right ahead.
And I will head for the skies.
Okay. With a commanding view of the entire region, you can easily see in the distance the incredibly impressive stone bridge, its majesty, which is not at all represented on this map. I might actually have an image here somewhere. Let's see. Stone. Where is it?
Image or riot?
And
By riot, I mean we beat the next enemy since it's...
Yeah, I just googled it. Copy.
Google, the savior of campaigns.
Your Google foo is amazing.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find if it's here somewhere. It should be.
Yeah, I can't post a link in Twitch, but I've posted it in
I might be able to.
D20.
Let's see.
Roll
That is an impressive bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously magical.
Let's see if I can. Yes. So you guys in the chat can follow the link if you want. Yes, it is. It's massive. And also a relic of the dwarven settlements of the past, which have also been mentioned to you in the past. But yes, approximately a mile off the road, you find a small dell with what looks to be the remains of a battle. A dozen dead soldiers lie on the ground dressed in black surcoats bearing the emblem of a red axe, a symbol that you are familiar with from your time traveling with the delegation. You know that these are the red axes of Mirabar, its standing army and police force, if you will, in one, which were assigned to the delegation to protect it. It's hard to tell from this height the exact details. You would have to land to investigate the bodies.
Well, I've seen that this is the delegation at least. I'm not gonna investigate them in detail. I'm first gonna fly back to the others and tell them what I spotted, so we can head there together.
All right. You travel back together, I assume.
Yeah, I will keep to the sky above the group, but I will not stray far.
All right. Why don't? Okay. So let's see. One of you can. Is anyone trained in Arcana?
What was that?
Anyone trained in Arcana? The skill.
Nope.
Nope.
Yes.
All right. Then Grazek can give me a Arcana check.
Razak, the savior of arcane stuff.
And anyone who wants to examine the bodies could give me a investigation or medicine check.
Are these dwarven bodies, or do we recognize the people from the delegation?
They're mixed. You definitely recognize, although the bodies are decomposed a little bit. Ayu in particular can tell that they've been gone for a good. Oh, let's see. Let's see. That was.
Well, if I don't see anyone else approaching from my position up in the skies, I will also land and join the others in investigating the site.
You feel like this could have been 5 or 6 days ago, are you? And then Grozek, there seems to be well, let's head to the description first. Most of the bodies appear to show signs of battle injuries, although some lie in small craters or jumbles of broken rock. Abandoned and looted wagons lie nearby, and a couple of broken trunks sit on the ground by the wagons. 2 rock cans, one large and one small, stand atop a hillside nearby.
Ayu will look at the group as like, these guys have been gone for 6 days, from what I can tell.
Are the bodies of the red axes the only ones there, or would there also be bodies of unknown combatants?
It's you get the impression that that the cans could be some kind of grave markings. What you do notice as well is that none of the Mirabar delegates appear to be here, but judging by the number, almost all of their escorts were killed. You don't see any real trace of, for example, Scarlet, the leader of the Red Axes, but neither do you see any of the main delegates, such as Zardas's good friend Desena, I mean, nor Garban Blacksoot, Rundorth, or Teresial, and certainly not the dwarven scholar that you found his missing books somehow in the hands of the people in the bandits in the keep. But there is one thing that Grazak notices, that there is a lingering aura of elemental magic that you can feel radiating a little bit from these rock jumbles and craters, like some kind of powerful magic has been used in this battle. And I would say automatically, without rolling, that Gak can also see that there are tracks in the area that indicate about 30 bugbears and medium humanoids wearing boots were heading west into the hills. So there is a trail to follow, and as well as the cans to investigate if you wish to.
Now, also, we found those books in the keep that were from one of the delegates, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And here we find the site where they were ambushed to the north.
Yep, and it seems like there is a track heading off in a direction that at least could take them back to the river.
Yeah, it sounds logical that they would have through the river, or well, over across down the river something. Because somehow those books ended up in Riverguard Keep.
Yes. It's curious how they might have ended up there. But these, unlike the inhabitants of the keep that seem to have a water-based cult, Grazak is pretty much convinced that some kind of elemental earth magic has been used in this battle. Are you sharing that information, Grazak?
Yes, actually, I was actually pondering it because it kind of reminds me. It's maybe related to Riverguard Keep, because Riverguard Keep used a lot of water elemental magic. Might seem stretch, but there's a lot of earth elemental magic here. Could it be that something exactly like those what Riverguard Keep was worshipping Hydra? These are worshipping something earth related.
That could be.
I don't really
And,
know for sure.
So the
And we
attack-
also heard about that Farragale Spire where the creatures of air went, or at least flying creatures. Let's assume they were creatures of air.
In that direction, yes. You don't know anything more than that.
So,
What did they look like? These attacks?
Well, you don't know what the attackers look like because the bodies of the soldiers are out in the open, and then there are two cans, as in graves, that are basically stones put on top of bodies, you imagine, or that's what it looks like. You can't tell without actually investigating.
but I could tell from the tracks you mentioned that they were bugbears.
You know there have been bugbears here and medium humanoids.
So like someone took the time to bury them,
Yes, but not the soldiers.
but not the soldiers.
But you can't tell what's in the cans without actually trying to...
Disturbing them.
Yeah. It doesn't look like that would be too hard, but
I'm
No,
not a
but
big
that was-
fan
but
of
that would be-
disturbing a grave, but it might prove a valuable
Maybe just
trail.
one.
there are two. There is a larger can and a smaller one.
Mm.
Let's have a look anyway. I mean, we really need to find out what happened.
All right. Give me.
I will start removing stones.
Yes. Give me another investigation check. Well, actually, you've already made one, so let's call it that one. So, Everil, you start removing stones and discover that in the larger can, you find 5 dead bugbears. They're dressed in black leather armor with a strange triangular symbol on it, which I will now show you.
Seems like you were right about the bugbear.
Is it the Illuminati?
Looks like it presents a mountain or something.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but well, you can roll an Arcana check if anyone's trained in it, or possibly religion.
What? Religion or?
Arcana. Or history, in fact, I would allow.
Maybe.
I'll give it a try, but I don't see this going well for me. 16.
Yep. I would say Everil and Ayu, you recognize the symbol. You don't recognize in particular exactly who it is, but you do recognize it as a very simplified ancient symbol for the element of earth.
So we have the element of water. We found a symbol for the element of water, an ancient symbol, and now an ancient symbol for the element of earth.
Yes. The plot thickens.
So it seems that they're following just basic elements, so maybe there's one of fire or ice, maybe? I don't know.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. What's another element that an ancient group might use, seeing if we found 2 of them?
Well, it would be earth, air, fire, water.
Air could be possible. Maybe we did find out from those. They were halflings. They weren't children, were they?
They
Alright,
were
making sure.
halflings.
I'm trying not to be racist. We found out from the halflings that they got attacked by Aarakocra. If there is anything to do with
not Aarakocra, large flying birds.
large flying birds. I'm sorry.
Aarakocras. Okay, yeah.
Aarakocras.
And they did not say either that that they in particular were attacked, only that they've heard that this is happening. So.
My bad. Areas nearby have been harassed by them at least.
Yes.
So, if there is something to do with air, groups, gangs, whatever they might want to go by, could be that those guys are involved.
Yeah. It could be. Everil, in the smaller can, you discover the body of a human woman. She's wearing monk's robes, and on her face is a strange golden mask shaped like a snarling gargoyle face. You don't think it's particularly valuable. In fact, when you do look at it, it looks like it's just gilded tin, and the gilding is more or less just a sort of like metallic paint, not something that you could easily salvage, so not particularly valuable. But remind me, when you guys discovered the Sacred Stone Monastery, you did approach it, did you not?
Yeah, but we didn't. We were on a bridge of sorts.
Yeah.
We didn't go very close.
Yeah, I think we just kind of like
passed by it.
Yeah, but you didn't speak to anyone within, right?
no.
No.
Okay. All right. So aside from that, the only other clue that you have discovered are these tracks which seem to head like southwest.
Well, maybe it would be useful to keep the mask if someone wishes to disguise themselves at some point.
It is a pretty cool looking mask. Can I have it? It's a really cool looking mask. I might even wear it because it's cool. If no one objects, I'm actually just gonna wear it. IU is slowly putting it towards her face. If you let her take it, that is.
Sure.
I'm not stopping you.
She puts it on. This is a cool mask.
Okay, it does smell a little bit vile, having been in direct contact with a decomposing face for the last 5 or 6 days. But if you wish,
Take it off, pick up some grass, just rub some grass on there, get the smell of nature in there. It's good. Put it back on.
No prestidigitation.
I don't have that.
no wizards, man.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Bards.
Unlike our other party, which is full of arcane casters.
No, don't druids also get something like prestidigitation?
I was gonna pick up Druidcraft, but I needed some range stuff.
The only range stuff you need is fire.
I have Produce Flame.
Yeah, that's the only thing you need.
I will go around the area, and I will use detect magic.
All right. Okay. It takes you a while to concentrate because the traces here are quite faint, having faded some days ago. But it seems to you that you also detect this sort of like conjuration elemental earth sort of magic presence. That it's just some lingering effect. And in fact, when you've got your senses attuned, you notice that parts of the valley in general seem to have odd, like unexpected traces. It's not quite identifiable, but it feels like there have been large magical events occurring in this region, although it's just impossible for you to tell anything more than that. Like, it's very faint traces, but it's on a large scale. Often conjuration sort of like, patterns in the weave.
I pick up some faint remnants of conjuration magic around here.
Zada's looking a bit around and all right, so the delegation was attacked. The attackers are followers of elemental earth, and the important people are not here, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
These are the facts, right? Okay. Can anyone follow tracks here and see where they went?
Yes. Two
Shall
of
we
us.
follow
can.
track?
Let's do that.
You
I mean,
have no trust in us.
it is how we came across Riftguard Keep.
Yeah.
Come on, Zardas. Just because you're good at smashing doesn't mean the rest of us aren't good at something. Man,
That's not what I said. I'm just,
this guy.
all this investigation is giving me a headache, you know.
It's okay.
Well, me and Ayo are both decent at tracking, so I would propose that we take turns, make sure we don't lose the track.
Seems
The same
track.
way we got to Riverguard Keep originally.
Let's do that.
If I miss something, I'm sure Gak will pick it up.
Okay, so give me a survival check.
All right.
Well, for the person that's
Yeah. All right.
okay, not bad.
21.
Yep.
You
Let's
want one
see.
from both of us, or just? this that time?
No, one roll's enough.
All right. I was gonna cast a spell to make that better on whoever went, but you're good. You already went. I was gonna enhance your ability.
I just need to double check a piece of information. Okay, you guys continue to travel into the afternoon, and discover the trail sort of winds south and then west, several miles to the banks of the Desaran River.
Okay, that's the dotted line you just added?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Let's see. So you guys sort of move down to here, bringing you very close to the Sacred Stone Monastery. And you also, let's see, is that there or there? We're getting to the part of this module that makes less sense.
Don't worry about it.
Well, what do you mean makes sense?
Is it possible to see the monastery from this side of the river, or?
Barely, yes. Like you can see from this distance, in the distance, the Veil of Dancing Waters, and sort of like rising above. There is the trail leads to. Let's see, there's characters there. Okay, so before you get quite there, you do see what appears to be grave markers about where you are. Some shallow graves, in fact. On a barren hilltop, you find 4 freshly dug shallow graves. The earth scraped out of the holes is piled nearby, although hastily gathered stones cover the graves. The faint smell of death hangs in the air, and several vultures circle overhead.
Always good to hear.
That's where the tracks brought us.
No, you're not finished going through the tracks, but looking at the tracks, it does look like something has occurred here. Some kind of... It's difficult to tell. A survival check, investigation, that sort of thing might help determine more exactly what happened.
How high up are the vultures for me?
I mean, they're circling overhead like a couple 100 meters up, like 600 feet.
Anyone else trying?
I'll give it a try. Yeah.
Well, the Stardust did as well.
Yeah.
21.
So it's hard to tell, but it looks like there are signs of defenders here, but they seem to have been defending against something that was not actually on the ground. And you, so it looks like there was some kind of battle here as well, though it's harder to read, because it feels like a piece of the puzzle is missing. Perhaps the grave occupants could shed some more light on what occurred to them.
Yeah. I'll let everybody else deal with that. I'm gonna try to fly up close to the vultures. I'm gonna take it slow so that they don't think I'm a threat.
Well, as you do approach, they sort of like sort of start flying off. Like, you don't think there's anything unnatural about them in the sense that they seem to be like they're ready to scavenge, but at the same time, they're a bit freaked out by the flying tiefling approaching them.
Well, who wouldn't be?
Of course, it wouldn't be. This is a normal reaction.
But are you
well-
trying to do anything druidy?
Yeah, I'm trying to get them close enough so that I can try to speak with them.
Okay. Well,
So I'll
What-
offer them some, like a ration, like maybe a fish.
why don't you give me a handle animal check to see if you can get close enough to them?
I keep forgetting that's a skill.
All right. Yeah. You can appear non-threatening enough to be able to get into a range where you can cast Speak with Animals. Remembering that vultures have rather small heads.
Yeah, I actually want to cast Animal Friendship so that it sees me 100% as a friend.
Sure.
So I cast it on it, and I kind of like wave it over so it can like sit nicely on my arm, so it can just relax. while
you
we
just
talk.
and
Yeah,
it's sitting
so
on
my
your.
My arms aren't counted as like wings, so like the wings on my back are flapping, and I just have my arm like extended so that it's not bothered by the wing flapping.
Yep.
So we're just kind of face to face, like, I look at it as like, how long have you been here? I have speech with Woods. I will post that in chat so you can see it. Give me a second.
Okay.
Speech of Woods. It can convey rather simple things,
Yeah. Okay.
like, has anything come through recently?
They're like said like things, ground things. They fight with air things.
Fight with air things?
Yeah.
Big air things? Like really big, delicious air things, or just kind of small air things?
Big cousins
Ooh, big cousins.
with things like you, no wings, on ground, on cousins' back.
What did you see where they went? Like, they left. That direction? And I'll just point in like a direction, see how it acts.
They indicate the sort of general direction of Feathergale Spire.
Alright.
But you have a sort of what counts for a conversation with them. But your impressions are that they're afraid to go down and scavenge the food. Like there is something unnatural that's been keeping them at bay the last, 5 or 6 days. And they're only sort of like, when you got there, they were trying to work up the bravery to actually go down and see because they can smell the food.
Alright. I'll tell them that I'll see if there's anything dangerous, and if possible, I'll see if I can't get them some food. Hey, I gotta help the animals,
Okay.
our feral friends. So
Well,
I'll
Exposing
let it
the
off my
bodies
arm.
will help them get food.
exactly. So I let it off my arm, and I go down and I'll communicate everything I just learned.
The rest of you guys, are you investigating these graves, or are you just going to leave them
Yeah,
be?
I did my survival, right?
Oh, right, yes, okay. I thought that was for the figuring out the tracks. But, okay, sure, we'll call it the graves. So, you find one male dwarf dressed in artisan's robe that you sadly recognize as the companion of Runedorth, Garvin Blacksoot, the dwarf apprentice of Runedorth, the great dwarven smith that was traveling with the party.
Okay.
So this is a sad moment as you uncover evidence that yes, indeed, there is signs that that you have lost some traveling companions here. That you had more of a you'll also find the human warrior woman dressed in a black surcoat that you recognize as Scarlet, the leader of their warriors, and another male human warrior dressed in the But this one is very strange. He's dressed in a black cloak and has strange stony armor that seems to have chipped away. It's kind of almost like as if bits of stone were attached to his skin, creating some kind of rudimentary stone plate. A medicine. There is also a male human in a white robe with black feathers at the shoulders, and a medicine check would be needed to determine what might have killed them.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. I am going to cast Enhance Ability on myself. Let me quickly send that to you guys so you can see what it does. There you go. And I am using it for Fox's Cunning to give myself advantage on the medicine check.
All right.
Because I really want to make sure we figure out what happens.
Roll a medicine check with advantage. A 15.
Needed it.
Good thing, yes. You believe that they died from a combination of arrow wounds or crushing blows, and it appears that from the tracks there, continuing on, that the larger force of bugbears and humanoids seem to have won the day. Although it's quite clear that there was several sides here. Delegates from Mirabar that you recognize, but also this strange white-robed figure and this strange rocky armored human. And the tracks do continue down towards the river.
That's rock armor.
Yeah.
Is it like useful also? Like is it better than what Grashak is wearing?
No, it looks like it's crumbled.
Crumbled.
As if like you can sort of piece together that it used to form an armor, but it looks like and it looks like someone's tried to like reassemble and replace the parts, but it's pretty much a collection of rocks that you can tell will almost like a statue that they or parts of a statue that fitted together.
Okay.
And you can see not far from here is the Sacred Stone Monastery, and you see that the tracks proceed in that direction.
To the monastery, okay. Well, it's on our way, guys.
It seems like a good place to go, seeing the stuff we have found.
Yes.
If you guys want to start heading that direction, I'll catch up. I promised the birds a bit of food. So, let me keep my promise.
Are you gonna just...
Sure.
What do you...
I'm going to pull out the two cultists. I'm going to let the dwarf we knew and the lady, I'm going to let them rest. Not going to bother their bodies, but the guy that was covered in the stone armor and the person with the feathers around his shoulders, I'm going to pull them out of their grave and make sure that the vultures know it's safe, that they can come down and eat.
Here was that damn bridge. I found it. Alright. Yep, fair enough. I mean, you coax them down and they're happy to feast.
I'm very happy. I'll just like give them like a little pet. And
although the white one, they're like sniffing it and they're like, smells like cousins.
Oh. This is this like one of the ones you saw in the Big Cousins?
Yeah.
Thank you for the help.
So what did those birds tell you?
Mostly there was a lot of ground people. However, I have figured out that the birds that attack from the sky, they're probably a mount of some type. This guy, I'll gesture to the white robe guy. Like, he was a rider, from what I can tell. Smells of the birds to the vultures.
Okay.
So we're not dealing with Aarakocra in regards to the flying things, from what I can tell.
Unless they use magic to grow wings while in action.
That could be possible, but the birds are telling me big cousins.
Okay.
So it has
Yes.
to be a beast of some type.
Alright.
Okay. They have flying
Riders.
mounts. Now I can ride a horse. Maybe I can now ride something to fly.
Well, yeah, a flying mount would be much more interesting than a horse.
Yeah.
As you approach the monastery, you see ahead of you the bridge breaching across the Desarum River. Itself a considerable stone edifice. But one thing you notice that wasn't there before is that the bridge appears to have collapsed. And the
Okay.
trail seems to diverge down to the riverbanks.
But that's not the black bridge you showed us.
Sorry?
That black bridge you just showed us.
No, that's let me.
That's Tribor, right?
No, that's the stone bridge here,
The stone bridge. Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Okay.
as opposed to
Yeah.
as opposed to
Okay.
here where you are. So
Yeah.
when you first saw the monastery, you saw a bridge
Well,
crossing it, but it seems to have somehow been knocked out, and the trail leads down to the river.
what we can do, I can fly to Riverguard Keep and get one of the vessels to sail you across the river.
But before you do, will you discover what happened to the rest of the delegation? Has their fate taken them to this sacred stone monastery? Who did the gold mask belong to? And who are these strange cultists? Find out next time on our next episode of Princes of the Apocalypse, which will be in 3-4 weeks. Because, or at least where some of us are traveling for the summer.
It's
Um,
summer. It's summer. It's time for holidays, guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be taking a short break, or at least our group will take the next 2 Mondays off, or at least that's the plan. There may be a surprise session or two, we don't know yet, but the main plan is that we're off for those 2 weeks. So in 3
Up to
weeks,
date.
we will be continuing with our regular DM Fausto game, following the Tales from the Yawning Portal. And then the week after we will continue Princes of the Apocalypse. So thanks for joining us tonight. It was a non-combat adventure, but hopefully a little bit interesting. I feel like the plot's gone forward quite a bit today.
Yeah, good.
I really enjoyed it.
We have targets. We have targets.
You have targets.
We must kill him.
That's right.
Hey, I've
After a
gotten more
combat
fashion.
After a combat that spans 2 sessions, I think a non-combat session is okay.
that could be the truth, actually. But let's see. I need to pull up.
Capital, like you said, it's a
Events thing, because it's not loading for me for some reason.
No, but there is an event on Twitch which is entirely reliable. I just don't have it
Yeah.
loaded on this
That
computer.
won't load up for me for some reason. Doesn't
We
like me.
definitely have our goals now. First, take out this monastery, free the captives.
Whoa!
I believe
Then take out the Federgale Spire and Claymore Flying Mount.
Wow, the bloodlust in this one.
Yeah, let's see. Dashboard. Then I go to moderated. Missions. There, dashboard. And then events. That's not for that. Let's see. Go to your channel and then. Oh, events. It's right there. It says nothing there yet. Okay. Something seems to have gone wrong, as usual. I can't access Discord, but I believe it's been reposted there. So if we have, let's say, is Exilum in the chat still and active? We'll see. Maybe he can mention something. Maybe not. Well, there's DDO tomorrow, as usual, and the remaining program. For some reason, we can't see the events on Twitch. There should be.
Wait. I think I. No, wait. The heck.
There will be shows when there will be shows. I'm
Keep
sure
up
that.
Yeah, Tuesday Dungeons and Dragons Online.
Yes, there we go.
Tuesday 10/7 is also Cow Appreciation Day. Don't Step on a Bee Day. Teddy Bear Picnic Day. Okay, I'm not sure if that has anything.
That's not the part you read, no. So normally they do have the events on Twitch. For some reason, it's not accessible to me either. So we can't tell you the full list at this point in time. But stay tuned. Enjoy.
Wednesday is Blueberry Muffin Day. That's pretty promising.
Check out the Discord and join us on Fumbles and Fame. You can find the link to that in the chat. And I can just put it up again a second time. Oh, it says right there, keep updated on the Twitter. That might do it. Let's see. I still don't see it.
Okay. God.
All right, guys. We're just gonna give up at this point.
We're gonna look out for you, but
This
not
is
much we can do.
this is the session's fumbles, it seems. So, guys, thanks for joining us. In the future, we'll be raiding, but we haven't figured out how to do that either. So, go and hit up someone who's playing D&D and support them, just like you support us. Have a great night. Have a great few weeks, and we'll see you when we are back from holidays. So, from us, happy holidays.
Ciao.
That's so Christmassy.
I know. Well, Christmas in July, right?